I do have charts for you, and we're going to go at a brisk pace. But yeah, it's been a very pivotal week. So here's the ES. This rectangle I've been pointing out as the top is doing a yeoman's job. And here's the thing, and here's why I'm like tying myself in knots right now. We are getting very, very close to what could be an important support level. This had been resistance until it burst through here in September, and then we fell hard, it was support. We fell hard, it was support. We've been falling hard here for months, weeks and weeks and weeks, maybe a month or two. And again, we're getting close to that level. In point of fact, we have fallen 5,000 Dow points since Ms. Pam Bondi was shrieking at Congress. So, boy, that was quite the ringing the bell moment, wasn't it? Yeah, I think henceforth all Pam Bondi hearings should have a big marquee of the Dow's present price level behind her, updating in real time. That'd be a nice. But she asked, why not satisfy her? Let's give her the Dow behind. We can just put it right behind her. Also, the net change since the last time she did her hearing. So yeah, thanks PB. UVIX volatility. This, good God Almighty, I hate how it does. UVIX. Come on, there we are. That's having a nice little lift, and yeah, like I said. Volatility is on the rise for obvious reasons, and as we approach the weekend, of course, people get a little skittish. And this is the tug of war going on because the fact that trillions of dollars have been laid waste to asset values. President Brainiac is going to be trying to come up with something to say, or maybe even something to do to try to undo the damage for his billionaire friends. So God knows. What's going to happen. For someone like me, who's bearishly positioned, it's hazardous. Such moves, I think, will be fleeting in their effect. We've seen this happen for the 3 weeks that this war has been going on. Weirdly, like the first chunk of the week tends to be like recovery and healing time, and the last chunk of the week tends to be sell-off time. And so there's been, the war's over, we won in the first hour, things are going great, we should have more positive press, CBS should lose its license because they said something I don't like, et cetera, et cetera. And the market rallies, and then people rub their eyes and look around and be like, what am I doing? And then this starts to sell off again. So I think being steadfast is easy to say, not as easy to do. But in this market, when it is, I believe, a bear market now, the right way to go. Small caps, IWM, they were particularly strong yesterday. They're particularly weak today. Of course, there's our island reversal gap. That started the whole thing. That was the beginning right there, that shooting star in the island reversal gap, and it's just been getting pounded away. And then the cubes are also down. Everything's down. It's just a sea of red out there, except for oil, of course. The cubes, all right, and let's just pause for a moment here. Let's just really emphasize this. The cubes are at crucial support. And we're right at the cusp of what could be a tremendous breakdown on Monday. Now, I have been tempted, but I've refrained from buying QID or SQQQ. These are leveraged bearish instruments against the NASDAQ. They've been doing great. And so, shame on me a little bit. I mean, I say shame on me. I've got 45 bearish positions, but still, those have been doing very well because it's just the NASDAQ hasn't to date completed the pattern, but boy, is it getting close. Speaking of, here are those items. There are the ETFs. So here's QID, which is the ultra short, and it is breaking out beautifully. Were this just a plain old stock, this would be a very appealing bullish pattern because we've broken out above what's been a range since last year. And the SQQQ, which is the triple bearish, I believe, is blasting ahead over 6% today. and it's also burst forth above its own consolidation zone, its own range, the trading range it's been in. So, that there can't be many of you out there, honestly. I've got one bottle of middling bourbon out of the whole thing, and, so I guess people still don't believe that the market's going to fall. But it's falling, and, out of 10,000 people, one of them is going to be a bear, because what's everybody else do? It's passive investing, 401ks, and just Vanguard funds and all the rest of it's just kind of this continuous dumping into equities. So there's not many of us out there, hardly any. We could probably fit in a bus. But if there is anybody else out there, congratulations for the rare time that the market kind of comes to its senses and so, oh my God, look, we're plunging again. New lows for the day. It's just so dumb what happened yesterday, that spike. Just so dumb. What on earth? What on earth were people thinking? That this guy whose track record is spotty was going to just declare that the street would be open and things would just be peaches and cream at that point. Thank goodness I bought those puts. I mean, it was not an easy choice, but it just felt like the right thing to do. It's not just the U.S., of course. Country funds are falling hard. Here's Canada, for example. Here's EWC, and threw a price line down on the gap that happened between Wednesday and Thursday. Clean little top there. Failure of the Liberation Day trend line. All kinds of good stuff going on. EWZ, Brazil. This one tumbling in spite of oil strength, because Brazil, the biggest component of this is PBR, which is oil-based. But in spite of that, it's just been weeks of lower lows and lower highs. Micron, this had a tremendous report on Wednesday afternoon after the close, and I shorted it on Thursday, and that's going well. It is closing at the lows of the week and down almost $26 right now. So I think the semiconductor bull market is also done, and Micron kind of put a bow on it. And so, we have SMH, for example. Okay. Chart. I want a chart. I don't want to trade. SMH, please. So SMH had been in an uptrend for the longest time, and it's failing nicely. And it also is not quite complete with this pattern, but I've got to tell you, this could be one of the most terrific bearish patterns this year, if and when it completes. Basically failing below that rectangle there would be marvelous to the downside. My own put ownership is SOXL. I've got a whole bunch of these. And this is the triple leveraged. I think it's triple. You'd think I would know, but I don't. But SOXL is down today over 10%. And so I've got a bunch of puts on those as well. Goodness, the time is fleeting, isn't it? XLC, just want to mention in passing, this is the, I think, communications sector. And it's completed a very nice head and shoulders top as well. Again, a 5-hour show today would be really good, but because there's so much to talk about. SMCI is an amazing story. You may recall SMCI 2 years ago. This was the hottest thing in the world. Everybody was crazy about SMCI. It went up hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of percent, and everyone was talking about it, and so much so that they threw the gates open and welcomed it into the hallowed halls of the S&P 500. That was about the peak. It's kind of like the cover curse. It has lost over 80%, I believe, of its value since then. And today it's getting blasted by about 33% because their president was, smuggling NVIDIA products into China. which you'd think he would find an assistant to do, but apparently he was using a blow dryer to weaken the labels and peel them off. It's like comic. But yeah, SMCI is getting just absolutely torn to ribbons. 1 minute left. Okay. I'm going to put on my sneakers and jump over all the short positions I was going to talk about. Come to slope. If you want to see those, I always talk about those. What shall we do to wrap things up? Let's just touch on Bitcoin real quick. Bitcoin's not down too much. Bitcoin's down just a little bit. And just to be clear on this, crypto weakness would throw fuel on the fire of the equity bear market. I'm not quite sure why Bitcoin's fairly robust right now, because it's only down 0.77%, which is a strong day for Bitcoin. But just keep an eye on that. If we start to see Bitcoin start to really sink into this, lower into the 60,000s, even the mid 60,000s, that would be a big help to equity weakness. But we'll just kind of end where we began, which is the S&P 500. We started with the ES futures, and now we're just looking at the plain old SPY. This is down quite hard. We are ending at multi-month lows, many months actually. We're basically trading now where we were trading back in September, amazingly. So I got to tell you, I'm worried. I'm worried about a big bounce on Monday. So you wouldn't be crazy to take profits and just say thank you very much and get on out. I might lighten up some here and there, but I think that's a short-term disposition. I do believe that on a longer-term basis, measured in weeks and months, that we've got a good top on our hands. So I hope you've had a good week. Have a good weekend. I'll see you here on Monday. Bye-bye.